Hello, hello. You are tuned in to the Destiny Show, the show that heals hearts, minds, and soul. Tonight, I have a special guest, Mr. Daryl Mayfield, who will speak on establishing business credit and funding. Before I bring Mr. Garrett in, I would like to give a shout out to my sponsor, Mr. Garrett Kellum, and also I want to wish him a happy birthday. Yay! Okay, and let's bring in Mr. Daryl Mayfield. He is the CEO and the founder of the Academy of Business Credit. Hi, Mr. Daryl.
Hello, and thanks for inviting me to your show. I'm real excited.
You're very welcome. So, tonight we are talking about establishing business credit and funding. There are some steps that should be taken, and there are ways that individuals or organizations should form a organization in order to become credit worthy. And
Mhm.
tonight I would like to talk about what is business credit. Can you give the listeners some idea what it means when you say business credit?
Sure, absolutely. First of all, I'd like to say that when you talk about business credit has the same ability that your personal credit does. Actually, it's more powerful credit. And before I even get into what business credit is and what it does, I'd like to go ahead and just debunk this myth out there in regards to business credit, where it's been known for a very long time that you have to have great personal credit in order to establish great business credit. Um, and that's not necessarily the case. Sure, your personal credit it helps, but you can you can begin to establish business credit with the worst possible personal credit that you can think of. You can have tax liens, you can have foreclosures, you can have medical charged off accounts, and still you're still able to establish business credit. The name of my company is called the Academy of Business Credit and Funding. It didn't start off with the funding part. Our flagship, our main product, or what we call our flagship product, is the Business Credit Suite. The Business Credit Suite, what it does is the cloud-based technology that takes an individual who is interested in starting their business, even existing businesses, to help them build the proper foundation when it comes to business credit. And that is the key, having that proper foundation when you're building business credit.
Wow. So you have already answered the first question of what business credit means, as well as how to establish it properly in order to, get credit. And you also touched on something that was very important as well, that you don't have to have the perfect credit score to be able to apply for business credit. And is there like a particular reason why? Because when it comes to business credit, I know that that's its own separate type of credit than personal credit.
hmm That is, it is. For an example, with personal credit, when we think about personal credit, immediately we think of our social security number. So in other words, when an individual goes into a place to apply for credit, one of the main items that they require from you, in addition to your name, is your social security number,
Mm-hmm.
because they want to be able to identify who you are and what, as you stated on that paper. Now, with business credit, there are two forms of identifications when it comes to your business credit. One is known as a tax ID number, and the other number is called a Dunn's number, a Dun and Bradstreet number.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the two major components that's needed in order to establish business credit. In other words, your Dunn's number is the equivalent to your Social Security number.
Yes, yes. And I know that I definitely have both. I have my business EIN as well as my business Duns and Bradstreet number. And and so I've already started to establish business credit as well, but I'm looking to obtain more. And that's why we're doing this show, is to help others out there who are stuck and who have applied for credit before and has been denied because everything is under your Social Security and not under the right type of bracket that it should be under when it comes to identifying your organization as a organization by itself and not establishing it to your personal credit.
That is correct. For an example, with business credit, if the foundation is properly built out correctly, your business becomes a standalone entity. In other words,
Mm-hmm.
in the event something goes awry with your business takes on the full liability of anything that might go awry. So, so let me kind of break that down. For an example, on your personal side, we go out and we apply for a credit card or a car loan, mortgages, et cetera, et cetera. We go out and then, we lose our jobs. And needless to say, we no longer have money to pay our bills. Then our personal credit begins to take a hit in terms of negative marks being placed on your credit report. Whether you want to accept it or not, in my opinion, you instantly, with bad credit, you instantly become a second-class citizen. A second-class citizen. Now, somewhere down the road, you get a new job, you get back on your feet, and you begin to reestablish yourself. You got those marks that's already been placed against your credit report. In a lot of cases, a lot of instances, those marks are still being held against you. Even though, okay, now you're back on your feet and you're making your payments on time and you got everything back on track, those negative marks are still hurting you. And now, if you notice, there's a credit restoration company like a 7-Eleven. One is on every other corner.
Yeah.
And these people are making a small fortune in terms of credit restoration, because a lot of people, especially during the when the bottom fell out the economy, a lot of people took a hit, and it hurt them tremendously on their personal credit. Now, let's take that same scenario. Let's say if you were building your business credit and you properly form that foundation, mm-hmm. and this thing called life comes along and throws you a curveball, and you're no longer able to make payments on your business credit side. Sure, it's going to drag down your payback score. However, in the event that if you have to abandon ship, and what I mean by abandon ship is to, let's say you filed a bankruptcy against your company. Here's the beauty about that. The very next day, you can go out and start another business. I like to refer to it as cut that arm off and grow a new one. Now, try that with your personal credit. It doesn't work quite that way. You get a negative mark on your credit report, it can hurt you for many years to come, depending on the type of, especially it depends on the type of account that has suffered the arrearage. So let's say If there was let's say if you filed a bankruptcy on your personal side, it can take anywhere from 7 to 10 years to recover from that. Now, I grant you, there are some companies out there, credit restoration companies out there, that state that they can remove bankruptcies, but that's difficult to do. And a lot of people end up living as a second-class citizen anywhere between 7 to 10 years. Once again, case in point, do that on your business side. Okay, file a bankruptcy. Matter of fact, I don't advocate this. File a Chapter 11, opposed to 13. A Chapter 13 is a reorganization. That's a restructuring of your debt. So they just reduce your debt and you make payments on a monthly basis. Chapter 11, you said, I'm washing my hands. I don't want anything to do with it. If you did that on your business side, you can turn around tomorrow and start a new business and begin to build business credit. And once again, I want to make that perfectly clear. I'm not advocating that at all.
Right.
But it's very possible. It is very possible to do that. And here's the thing. Here's the thing. With business credit compared to personal credit, it is not only, for example, if for the first time in your life you're trying to establish a credit for the first time, whether you're 15, 16 years old or whatever that age you begin to establish credit. On your personal side, you go to the local jewelry store or you probably get a secure credit card. It's going to have a very small limit that they will issue to you. Now, if that was on the business side, chances are that credit limit is going to be 10 times more than what was issued on the personal side. So if they gave you a $500, let's say if they gave you $1,000 credit limit on your personal side,
Mm-hmm.
it would be more like $2,500 to $5,000 on your business side. And that's a huge difference because when you think about it, you can do a whole lot more with the $2,500 limit compared to a $500 limit. So one of the things that my company that we do, we not only teach people through the cloud-based technology that we offer to build business credit, we teach them how to maintain it.
Yes.
Most importantly, maintain it for the benefit of your business, because there is a heart-wrenching statistic out there that says 85% of new businesses fail within the first 2 years. Let me repeat that. 85% of new businesses fail within the first 2 years. The number, and question, what do you think is the primary reason fail within the first 2 years?
Well,
Capital.
okay, yeah. I was going to say it had to be financial as well as probably how the business was, established and formed.
That is true. That is true. But the number one reason is capital. The lack or not having access to capital. Because unfortunately, a lot of people who go into business or establish their business, none of us, we don't have a crystal ball. We don't know. Yet we might have a very detailed, a very established business plan, but within that business plan, it does not control what tomorrow may bring.
Yeah.
Or next week or next month. And this thing called life has a funny way of stepping in and will work outside of your business plan that you spent months and months of creating. So what do you do then? When, especially if you're a seasonal business, let's say, okay, you might be in the type of business that your peak season is during the summer months. Now, what do you do for the remaining part of the year? How do you sustain? How do you maintain your business? Or better yet, if you are in a business that trends from a weekly or on a monthly basis, and let's say you get 2 months of a downtrend, what do you do? Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, a lot of the businesses that are out there that are currently operating as we speak, they're operating either from their personal credit or from the revenues that they generate on a monthly basis. Now, I'm not saying that's wrong, but here's the potential downside of that. If when it comes to your personal income, if you're limited, what do you do when you run out of your personal income, or whether you're financing your business on your credit card? Your credit card has a limit, and now you don't have that money coming in to pay those credit cards. At some point, you hit your ceiling. Now think about that same scenario if your business was properly structured and you built out your business credit in the fashion should be. Mm-hmm. Then now it gives you a much better position to walk into our traditional lending sources and to apply for that loan. Let's say if you want to expand your business, you're doing exceptionally well. And let's say you had a restaurant and you want to expand that business. You need more seats. You need more equipment. You need more employees. If your business credit, in the way that we show you how to properly build that out, then you won't have any problems of representing yourself in the fashion from the standpoint of confidence. When you walk into that lending institution, here are my financials. Here's my current situation. Here is my business credit report, and I need
right
$50,000. I need $75,000.
Okay, so
I'll tell you, it's a great feeling.
I know. So with all that great information, I know that there are over 20 credibility points that are necessary for a business to have a strong credit foundation. Can you give us some of those credit points so that anyone listening in can learn about how to build a strong credit foundation?
Absolutely. The ones that I want to that I will immediately talk about is the ones that are not widely known. Number one being your phone number. Let me repeat, your phone number. When you go establish your LLC, your S corporation, your C corporation, and you put down and you're filling out all your paperwork. And now the first time you sit down and fill out a business credit application, you get to that little box that says your phone number. Unfortunately, a lot of people make the mistake in terms of putting a Google subscribe number, or they put a e-voice number, or some of these other third-party internet service providers. And don't get me wrong, folks, there's nothing wrong with that. You can have that on your business card. You can have that on your website. But when it comes to that credit report, that number that you put on that piece of paper or on that online form that you're filling out, that number needs to be accessible to the National 411 directory. In other words, that number that you put on that paper needs to be registered with the National 411 directory. These Google subscribe numbers, these e-voice numbers, you can't do that with those type of numbers. And the reason why this is one major component that is crucial is because a lot of these lending institutions, when they look at your business credit application, they extract certain information. One of them being your phone number. Instantly, they run that number against the National 411 directory to make sure that it's listed. When it comes back as it is listed, that gives you more credibility. So now you are given whatever the point system is for that particular lending institution, that point works in your favor. Now, if your number does not show up in that 411 directory, then you have a point deducted from the overall underwriting process. So hypothetically speaking, let's say you need to score a total of 10 points in order to get the approval. So you potentially just lost 1 point out of possible 10 points off of a phone number. The other thing I want to talk about in terms of establishing credibility, in terms of building your business credit, is your address. Once again, your address. Once upon a time, it was okay to run down to the mailbox, etc., the UPS store, and rent a mailbox for 6 months, 12 months, whatever the case may be, and then when you put it on all your stationery, that you're filling out some paperwork, instead of P.O. box, you put suite number, a building number, opposed to P.O. box number. That used to work some time ago, but we are in the age of the internet, where people will Google any and everything. And what a underwriting department does, they will run that address. And that address will tell them, no, that address belongs to a UPS store. It belongs to the United Postal Service. It belongs to the mailbox, etc. And the reason why this is important is because at the end of the day, the purpose of underwriting is to minimize their risk, to see if you are a great credit risk. Now, you think about it. You think about it from their side of the fence. Would you loan somebody or extend credit to somebody that operates out of P.O. box? Because guess what? You can close down that P.O. box tomorrow and go to the other side of town and get a new P.O. box. The same thing for a phone number. Yep. You can get if you wanted to, you can go on Google every single day and get a new number. Mm-hmm. So that doesn't show a strong foundation. So those two things alone are absolutely crucial in terms of building your business credit. And a lot of people do not realize that. They do not realize that. I give, I travel the country in terms of giving seminars and workshops specifically on properly building business credit. And so many times, more times than not, people stand up in the room and says, yeah, I tried, but it doesn't work. And when I begin to look underneath the hood in regards to why it doesn't work, it normally boils down to one of the, if not both of those, one of the two. What phone number you get? Oh, well, I put my cell number. I put my Google number. And once again, that's fine for a business card, for your website. But when it comes to that business credit application, it needs to be a number that's listed with the National 411 directory. Your address. It's okay if you have a home address because there's more people working from home than ever before. But a P.O. box number, an apartment, you're going to get, chances are you're going to get dinged in that area. So those are the two things I mainly, that I really like to bring to people's attention when it comes to building credit. And then there's what we call the 3 tiers or the 3 different levels in terms of properly building that foundation for your business credit. And I guarantee you, if you do it in this fashion, at the end of the process, you will have a foundation, or your company or your business will be a standalone entity at that point.
Wow. So that was some great information. So when it comes to building business credit, when you're applying for credit cards, is that like a different process where you can put a P.O. box and it really wouldn't matter? Or if it's a business card, it needs to have the same business address?
Well, now here's the thing. The way we teach individuals how to properly build their business credit, number one, we say when you went to file your LLC papers, your S corporation papers, or your filing of incorporation, the information that you put with that file with that state, we ask that you be consistent throughout the application process. So whatever you have listed at the state, whatever state you may be from, okay, whatever you have listed at the state, when you begin to fill out your credit application, make it consistent to that.
Okay.
Once again, that's another vital point. Another vital point. Because the underwriting process has gotten very sophisticated. Because banks are tired of, lending institutions, they are tired of losing money. They are tired of writing off money. Don't get me wrong, banks, there's going to be write-offs every single year from every lending institution. There's no way around that. However, they've already budgeted that in. And when they go outside that budget, then it begins to hurt the bottom line of that company. So the underwriting process has gotten very sophisticated. Depending on the lending institution and the amount of money that you're looking to secure, they will go back to verify the filing with the state compared to what you put on the application in some cases. Now, as far as a P.O. box, once you secure that credit card, and some people don't want it to come to their place of business, then it's okay to change with that credit card company the mailing address. It is okay to do so. But to initially establish that particular that trade line, there's certain things that need to be in place in order to build your business credit properly and to present yourself in a better light to increase your chances of approval.
Yes, yes. Well, everyone who are listening in, please understand that it's very important when you are applying for business credit. It doesn't matter if it's a credit card or a line of credit or if you're going in for a business loan. Everything must match. And this is a way of building credibility of your organization as being a real organization, as well as everything matches up with the state, as well as when the lenders are doing their own personal background check, everything is matching up, and it increases your probability of getting that loan and getting that credit card or that line of credit.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. So let's talk about making sure that individuals are not using crazy email addresses when it comes to their business. Now, isn't it important that if you have a business, that you have a business email, and usually at the end of the email, it will say the businessname.com.org or .net.
Yes. And Christy, I'm so glad you brought that up. Once again, that is one of the things that we talk about in our business credit suite in terms of credibility. And as I mentioned earlier, in terms of how sophisticated the underwriters have become. Now they will actually hold it against you when you have a free email account opposed to a business domain account. Because once again, you think about it, a free account, such as the Gmails, the Yahoos, the much as I hate to say it, the AOLs. I mean, the AOL really dates you especially when I see an email address of AOL. That dates you quick, fast, and
I have seen AOL within the past 3 days of someone still having a AOL account. Yes, I can't even believe that it's still working. I thought AOL was shut down.
Even though I'm ashamed to admit, I still have an AOL account. I very rarely use it. It's more like a catch-all than anything. Mm-hmm. But my folks need to be very mindful in their perception of their company.
Yes.
Me personally, because we deal with lenders all the time, because that's the other part of our business, and I know we'll talk about that on another show. But when lenders call my company and say, we would love to be part of your portfolio to help you service your client, and they're sending over an email, or they give me their business card, I will not do business with them if it says Gmail, Yahoo, AOL, or any other free internet service provider. I will not do business with them. Underwriters will hold that against you in their pointing system when it comes to your email address. Folks, I'm sorry. It does not take a whole lot of money in order to present yourself in a professional light. Matter of fact, since I'm talking about Gmail, Gmail offers a service where you can have a professional looking email account. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, and I'm not promoting Gmail, but I think it's like it starts at $5 a month. If not, go and buy you a domain name. And it depends where you get that domain name from. You can get a domain name for as little as 99 cents a month.
Wow.
And with that domain name, you can have at least a minimum of one address. And I'm sorry, let's take a domain name that costs 99 cents. That works out to be roughly $12 a year. If you do not have $12 to put into your business, you do not need to be in business. That is what we call the cost of doing business.
So let's touch on this last topic before it's time to end the show tonight. Let's talk about bank accounts. Because I know some businesses or some individuals whom I've spoken with still does not have a business bank account. So is this one of those things where the lender will ask you for a credit reference if you have a bank account, and that they just want to verify that you are a business with this particular bank?
Yeah, a business bank account is absolutely vital. I know some folks out there will say, "Hey, Daryl, my business is not generating any money. So what's the purpose of me having a business account?" Okay, let's say, for an example, for some people who are stepping off into the entrepreneurial world and they're still maintaining a 9-to-5 job. Okay. Here's one of the things that it's not necessarily in our business credit suite, but this, when I travel the country and with my workshops that I touch on from time to time. If you have a 9-to-5, you're getting a paycheck, and whether you're getting paid weekly or biweekly, you're getting paid. Take that money, whatever it is, open a business bank account. And the only requirement for a business bank account is your tax ID number and your articles of incorporation. That's typically the minimum standard for most of the banks out there. Some might ask for a little bit more, or whatever the case may be, but that's the minimum requirement. Now you take that money from your check, your regular 9-to-5. You put that money into your business checking account, and outside. Now, with your business checking account, pay yourself. Because at the end of the day, if you are a business owner, you're not only the owner to that business, you are an employee.
Wow.
Now, so let's say if you make $1,000 a week, put that money into your business bank account, and the purpose and the reason, and there's a purpose and a reason behind this. Put it into your business bank account, and then turn around and pay yourself. And the purpose of this is because you are establishing a paper trail with your business. Because now when you finally get your business up and running and you go to secure funding, whether it's with a traditional lending source or a private source, chances are they're going to ask for your business bank account statements. What they're looking for is money going in and money going out, money going in and money going out. That's the typical transaction with any business bank business bank account. Money going in, money coming out. Money going in, money coming out.
Wow.
You have a track record. Now you have the ability to produce a bank statement from your business until your business can stand, until you get it up and running. And then the company starts generating money on its own. And so then you can get away from taking your personal your personal paycheck and paying the business and then having the business pay you. But anyway, I can talk 2 days on that topic alone. I really can, because that is a powerful tool.
Well, that's our topic for May the 30th. When we get into funding, we will definitely talk about the other portion of bank accounts when it comes to establishing the bank account properly and paying yourself or paying your employees.
I'm sorry, Christy, I lost you there for a second. I'm sorry. Say it again, please.
I said, yes. I said on May the 30th, part 2 will be funding. I said, so while we're discussing funding and how to establish funding through the banks and through credit cards, we're also going to talk about the second part of the bank accounts, how to establish the bank accounts properly and how to pay yourself and how to pay your employees.
Absolutely. I look forward to that, and I think that's a very powerful topic right there. It's a very powerful tool if you utilize it correctly. And I love talking about that particular topic in particular, because it can really take you to the next level in your life. And the beauty of it is that it's being exercised every single day from many of the businesses that are currently out there. And here's another little secret that a lot of people don't know. Corporate America operates on these techniques and these strategies every single day. And I know you guys heard of the expression before. They say, don't hate the player, hate the game.
Yeah.
And this is exactly what it is. Business credit is a game. Learn to play this game. And I can assure you, you learn to play this game, there should be no excuse for you to ever use the word, I'm broke, again. And I mean that with all sincerity. That's how powerful business credit is. It's a very powerful tool. If you learn to play this game,
all right,
you should never be broke another day in your life. And like they say, don't hate the player, hate the game. And I'm sorry, I did not create the game. I just learned to play it.
Well, we have just been taught some powerful things when it comes to building business credit, what business credit is, and how we should make sure that our accounts are set up properly, how the formation of our organization is set up. And part 2 will be funding. We will discuss funding. This is the part that I'm so excited about. And we will discuss the second part of bank accounts to make sure everyone is understanding how you should set up your bank accounts and how you should pay yourself as well as your employees. So tonight we had Mr. Daryl Mayfield, the CEO and the founder of the Academy of Business Credit. If you are looking for more information, you can contact Mr. Mayfield at info at Academy of businesscredit.com. Also, you can go to his website, which is www.academyofbusinesscredit.com. And there's also a toll-free number if you would like to give him a call. That number is 1-800-634-6025. Again, this is Mr. Daryl Mayfield, the CEO and founder of the Academy of BusinessCredit.com. Mr. Mayfield, it was a pleasure having you on, and have a great night.
Next meeting, and thanks again.